Hey everybody, happy Tuesday out there. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. I don't want to waste any more time here at this beginning of the show because we need to get to the best story that I've heard in probably months, if not years.
Oh, man.
With that, I'm going to send it over to Ryan Half. What happened this weekend, man?
I had the privilege of joining my fiance Mary to watch my future nieces and nephew down in the Twin Cities, and we were watching them for 2 overnights because their parents were away on some work things. So they were sleeping, and the toothpaste that we had brought, or the toothpaste that we knew was on the premises, was in the bathroom of their room. And so I didn't want to wake them up, so I went to a different bathroom to grab more toothpaste and grab something that sadly I had used once before. And so I'm upstairs now with the new toothpaste, brushing my teeth, and all of a sudden my lovely fiance Mary comes around the corner and she says, "Did you use this?" And I go, "Yeah, I used this toothpaste." And she informs me that it was not toothpaste. Shania, we do have the picture of this. It is something that is used for a child's, rear to make sure that they are comfy all night. And is also max strength, and it provides instant protection. So I did, in fact, believe that this was toothpaste. Looking back, it looks exactly like a thing of toothpaste.
It does.
And it says paste in huge letters, but I also missed the 4-letter word right in front of it. So that is on me. I will take responsibility for that. But yes, and I did brush my teeth with that on, I believe it was Saturday night.
I mean, there's about 1,000 questions that come to mind for me right now, but the first one is, don't you have taste buds? Doesn't it taste like, what does it taste like?
Because I had used, because there's a lot of children's toothpaste at that house. So there's a very similar bottle at that house that I have used before.
Okay.
And I go, it's just, the kids' toothpaste is not as minty. It's a little dulled down. And so, getting older, you just go, oh, it's just like a dulled down berry fluoride, I don't think much of it.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I had used that on my teeth. And so I informed my friends too, or they saw my post, and my friend Mike, who does have a baby, he was like, I hate that stuff because the stain doesn't get out of your hands.
Oh!
And so I had used it, and I looked at my toothbrush, the head on my electric toothbrush, and it was pretty red. So I indeed decided to throw that out.
Were your teeth red at all?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's good.
I think I'm glad that my teeth are still in my mouth. My gums don't appear to be, dissolving. So I think it's used for a baby.
Yes.
It has to be okay.
Yes.
So I did not ingest it, so I did not have to call poison control.
Good.
So that was another plus.
And another thing you mentioned casually there was that this is the second time that you've done this, Ryan. How did you even do it twice? First off, and what was the first experience like?
Mary wasn't there for the first one because I was like, I'm just going to use this toothpaste that's in the drawer. And same experience, I didn't think anything of it. And then just like knowing that you used it makes it worse.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
Yeah, it's like if something happened in my mouth where I go, what in the world is that? Then I would have problems. But after the first time, I didn't have any issues. So besides like the stain on the toothbrush.
Yeah.
So
you know what?
It was awful.
I will place some of the blame on the company itself because it looks like a thing of toothpaste in the dark. I would have no idea. That's fair. But you should have tasted it, man.
I should have. I should have stick to the adult toothpaste.
So
I should
funny.
have woken up the kids and gotten the adult toothpaste.
Oh my God.
Well, so my misfortune there sparked a lot of fun comments on that Facebook post over the weekend. We had Bev who said, "Guess that's better than Bengay," which if you don't know Bengay, it's icy hot. So that would have been a cool to hot experience. I have had problems with Bengay before, but we won't talk about that.
Oh, there's a whole other story of Bengay?
There's a whole other story. We'll talk about that some other day.
Oh my gosh. How about this one from Steve that said, "And were you comfy all night? I once mistook face cleaner with a mouthwash there."
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
That's
were you comfy?
Bad. I was not comfy after the fact, knowing what happened to me, so I was not comfy. And finally, Jacqueline told me a long time ago I did something similar. We were camping. It was very dark, and I have had a few adult beverages. So I grabbed my toothbrush and toothpaste and proceeded to start brushing my teeth, only to find out that it was antibacterial ointment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I bet this sort of thing happens quite a bit because a lot of tubes look like toothpaste,
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta taste it.
Especially if you have the travel size toothpaste, on which I'm sure that ointment came in.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't know unless you got a light on.
That's spot on. Man, I laughed so hard when I saw that on Facebook on Saturday when you posted it.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Man,
wow.
utter shock, and Mary had a good laugh too. She was laughing for a couple of minutes there. let's get to a better weekend note. Hunter, you had a lot of folks come stop by Black Bear Casino.
It was so much fun. I didn't ingest any butt paste, which was great, and it was so
Fantastic
much fun.
news.
The entire weekend, a lot of different bands came and supported us. A lot of different people from the station as well came and supported us, and it was just a fantastic weekend overall. Got to stay on campus, as you might say, for the entire weekend. Had their buffet, which is so good, and it was a gig. It was our first public gig in maybe a couple months or so.
Wow.
So cool to see everybody coming out, and it was a packed house both nights. So it was so much fun, man.
And I'm sure Colton's only got a couple more band gigs before he becomes a dad. So,
Seriously?
Yeah. Be sure to stop by and check out the Northwoods band on their
3 weeks.
3 weeks. It's coming up. Well, hey, coming up on today's show, we'll be putting Hunter under the heat for this week's blindfold. We'll see if he can withstand the fire for this week's Black Bear blindfold. Are you excited, Hunter?
As long as they don't make me eat butt paste, I think I'll be okay. But I'm interested to see what you have for me cooking there.
It'll be fun. I promise. It's something that you can actually eat. Well, here's a question for parents out there. Is it okay for kids to curse? A new national poll found 41% of parents say yes. Most of those say it actually depends on the situation, with 6% just considering not a big deal. But the majority of parents out there agreeing that cursing is forbidden. 21% of the parents also ignoring their teens' bad language. And many parents say they blame themselves for the kids knowing those words.
Oh, sure. Did you curse a lot as a kid, Ryan?
Not as a kid, no. You know, I said, I won't say what it was. It wasn't a swear word, but I said one thing. And, you know, when your parent or my dad told me, like, you don't say that ever again, I go, okay,
Yep.
you know, I'm not going to say that.
I don't think kids should be allowed to swear. I think they should, rein them in a little bit. I think that's very wrong. But it's funny because when I was little, my mom was the one that swore all the time. My dad never swore. And now that we're older, they switch. My mom never swears anymore. My dad swears more often. We never really swore much. Colton did more than me, but I didn't swear much. No, I still don't really swear that much.
You don't? I don't think you do.
It's weird.
Yeah. We've grown up.
Yes, we have.
Slightly. Coming up, Wisconsin couples renew their vows, showing us what love and commitment is all about.
The Blindfold on Northern Life is brought to you by Black Bear Casino Resort.
Welcome back, folks. A new survey shows Americans are increasingly traveling for their taste buds. 1 in 5 say they've planned a trip solely for the food, with younger generations leading the trend. Gen Z and millennials are far more likely to take a foodcation, traveling hundreds of miles and spending nearly $1,000 to eat their way through a destination. Philadelphia, New York City, and Kansas City top the list of must-visit food spots. Kansas City, I wonder what's there.
For the barbecue.
Oh,
Kansas
that makes
City
sense.
barbecue.
Okay, I got Philly cheesesteak in Philly, and New York pizza. I think is one of the big things there, isn't it? Are there other
Pizza,
things?
New York bagels, probably.
Bagels, yeah.
Probably, New York City, obviously a lot of different food cultures, so, coming together in one city. So I'm sure a lot of folks going out there.
I wonder, I've never really traveled for the sole purpose of food.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah.
I think most of the time I have a trip planned for something. Like we went to my sister-in-law's wedding in North Carolina. And it just so happened that North Carolina has good barbecue.
Really?
And you're right on the ocean, too. So you got, fresh fish as well. So I think a lot of the times it's either a pleasant surprise or you go somewhere and go, this place has nothing.
Yes. There's just a McDonald's here, which I'm not going to sneeze at. But no way. But I regret so much because we went down to Memphis. I didn't have any barbecue when I went down there. Nothing. It was one of my goals to do. We just didn't have time to do it. So
I know you're driving down to Florida sometime soon. Are you driving through Memphis again?
Not through Memphis, no. Going through Kentucky. So I might have to get some chicken or something down there. That sounds really good.
They probably got some KFCs down there.
Yeah, I know. Probably quite a bit. The Colonel probably lives down there still. He might be dead. I don't know.
We don't know.
Hey, listen, in Wisconsin, couples recently renewed their vows just in time for Valentine's Day.
But these couples aren't rookies when it comes to love and commitment. They've been at it for a collective 360 years. Andy Bernhard asking them to share the secrets to their happy long marriages.
Well, the secret is to have a great wife. That's the biggest secret. No death.
Hang it on.
Stick together and work things out.
After decades of marriage, 6 happy couples walk down the aisle with their loved one once again.
Getting memories, flashbacks of how it was, 1970 when we were married.
It brought back so many great memories of that day.
For each couple at Teal Shore Senior Living, this wasn't their first time saying I do. This time it was to renew their vows.
I am his wife, and he is the best husband I could ask for.
Bruce and Rosemary Malik have been married for 65 years and say they are grateful for every moment together, even in the hard times.
When things get tough, you start thinking about all the tough times. Try to take a break and think of the good times and realize that, hey, this is all worthwhile because look what I've got.
It was an emotional moment for each couple as they renewed their vows, the group celebrating 360 years of love all together. For those wanting to follow in their footsteps, their advice is simple.
I do have a secret. I think a good sense of humor is really important in a good marriage.
Separate bathrooms. Makes a big difference.
For her, it does.
People said this before, but yes, dear, is one of the secrets.
Grateful for the time spent together and the memories to come with their partner by their side.
Oh,
So
man.
many examples of awesome love
Yeah.
right there.
Oh,
That's
it's
crazy.
beautiful.
When I first read the story, it said 360 years. I was thinking there was going to be this like Yoda type of person who's been alive for 360 years, and they've been married for that
Someone
long.
in a cryo chamber or something.
Yes, but nope, that's not the story. Upon further inspection, there's multiple couples that have been married that long.
Oh,
so,
wonderful
very cool.
advice. It's great to see that too. Before getting married myself, I am very lucky to have someone who has shown me that the importance of having a partner in this life. To two people coming together to say life is hard and we're going to stick with each other through thick and thin, and it's going to be a fun ride.
We both have very good examples in our life of people that are married and for good reason, and that they're nailing it. My parents are fantastic. They've got a fantastic example of what love really is. I know your parents have been together for a long time too. So very, very cool.
And if any folks out there got advice for me or advice for Hunter or any other people out here who are watching Northern Life, be sure to message us. We'd love to share your advice and celebrate you. New census data shows Michigan's population is growing again, which is good news. That's the fourth straight year. Nearly 28,000 people moving to the state in 2025, a 0.3% increase. So I made sure to find this snow video from Upper Michigan in case you were thinking about moving to Michigan. Governor Gretchen Whitmer crediting affordability, job access, and quality of life. And in the UP, 4 of the 15 counties also seeing population gains. Economic leaders say investing in housing, recreation, and vibrant communities will be the key to attracting younger residents in the future.
That's one of the things that actually attracts me to Michigan is the amount of snow.
Yeah.
I would love to live in the snow belt, maybe off towards Marquette or something like that sees like almost 300 inches of snow a year. That's crazy.
It's got to be beautiful in the summertime, too.
Yes.
I regret that I've not been out there on the UP much in the summer. So.
And what's the bridge that's way out there? There's a really beautiful bridge.
Is that the Mackinac Bridge?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. I saw that as a
Absolutely.
kid. Yeah.
Super cool.
Well, at the end of this week, we are excited to bring you the Winter Olympics here on Northern News Now. Team USA arriving in Italy as it's time to rep the red, white, and blue. This is the welcome experience they had. Members of the figure skating team arriving and trying out some of their opening ceremony gear before things get underway on Friday.
So it's less than a week away, right?
It's coming up on Friday.
Oh, go
Yeah.
America.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody, for this week's Blindfold. Hunter here, blindfolded here at the desk in studio. And so, Hunter, I wanted to have this experience with you.
Okay.
There are many viewers out there who understand what you go through on a daily basis when you
Sure.
put together your forecasts, okay? Getting those updates prepared for our wonderful Northland residents. So, for those who don't necessarily know what goes into it, I thought it'd be fun today to ask you some questions to build a little trust and transparency with the folks out there.
Oh, boy, here we
go.
go.
You can take off your blindfold. You can see what's in front of you.
Okay.
So I decided to get you a plate of Doritos, but those Doritos, for the folks out there who have seen the show Hot Ones on YouTube, they ask tough questions, and with each question comes a hot sauce. And since I could not afford the Hot Ones sauce, I decided to get the ones from Aldi, the Berman's Spice Lab sauce. So with each question, we'll take a dab of the hot sauce,
Okay.
and then we will go from mild all the way to the hottest one over here.
I'm really excited. I love hot sauce.
Great. Well, pour yourself some hot sauce on a chip
Okay.
there, and I will do the same. And then we will eat it, and then I will ask you a question, and then we'll see if we can make it through this.
Okay, I load
All
it
right.
up.
So, Hunter, as you're enjoying that chip, what part of forecasting is the hardest to communicate on TV?
That one's already, it's not even there. It's kind of hot. You say it again.
You're gonna lose your train
I wasn't even paying
of thought.
attention.
What part of forecasting is the hardest to communicate on TV?
Probably when it gets really complicated. because that's the hardest part, is figuring out how to kind of convey these more complicated things to a way that, people can more understand it. And even sometimes I have to kind of look into it a little more and make sure that I understand it fully before I talk about it on air. So sometimes that's a challenge, definitely. Also talking when you have hot sauce in your mouth, that's another challenge as well.
That's another challenge.
That's a good one.
Let's get to the next one as you're enjoying that next hot sauce.
Okay.
That first one, jalapeno for the folks at home.
Okay.
How do you avoid desensitizing viewers to weather alerts? So in other words, how do you balance being cautious without overhyping a storm?
That's true. It's a fine balance that you have to do. This one's a little hotter, I can tell. It's definitely a fine balance because what we try to do with our first alert thing, the whole thing with the branding, is to, again, make sure that you have what you need as you're heading out the door. And we try not to do it for things that aren't, too crazy. We want to have your trust and make sure that you know that it is something serious. It is something that you need to understand. And so that's kind of the fine line that we try to walk, is making sure that we don't do it too much. We don't do it for things that are unnecessarily something that we shouldn't be blowing up. So that's kind of what we do to make sure that that's all good.
Well said. Well,
Thank
enjoy
you.
that one. This previous one, cayenne. So we're up in the game here.
Okay.
I'm excited for the last one here, too. All right, next question as you're enjoying that. What is something meteorologists still cannot predict well, even with today's technology?
Wow. That one has a weird flavor. That one's mango. That one's pretty good.
Mango habanero.
That
Nice.
one's really good. Definitely, the further out you go with snow totals and things like that, we still can probably be maybe accurate when it comes to 3 days or 4 days out. But once you get to 7 days or more, it really gets challenging when it comes to making an accurate forecast in anything, really, but especially with snow totals. So I'll go with that.
All right, and we're on to the last one here. I got a couple more questions, but we'll enjoy this one.
Okay.
All right. What is the biggest misconception people have about meteorologists?
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Let me put this in first.
And actually, I'm going to ask you that one after the break. So since we don't have much time, I'm going to ask you this one first. How does it feel getting paid even when you're wrong half the time?
I knew that was coming. How did I know that was coming? I was going to say that for the answer. That's the misconception. But there we go. I've heard that a billion
Does that get
times.
under your skin when people say that?
Not so much. Maybe at
Okay.
first it did.
Sure.
But it's fine now.
Let it slide. All right. Well, hey, we're going to ask Hunter another question when we return. Well, welcome back, everybody. We're finishing our final chip here. Hunter, take one more dab.
This is my favorite sauce, by the way, the hottest
That extra hot one.
This
The
is
mango
really
one,
good.
habanero, that was pretty good too. Hunter, before we go today, get back to that question. What is the biggest misconception people have about meteorologists?
I think the thing that comes to mind, and this is true for DJs and anybody that's on TV and things like that, you might not get paid as much as you think you might get paid when you go on TV, especially like in a smaller market like this. So that's interesting too, it's starting off especially when it comes to that sort of thing. So there's that. Otherwise, I can't think of anything else that's at the top of mind. Plus, my tongue is kind of on fire. So
that last one is pretty hot.
That was a little hot.
That was pretty hot.
That was good, but good questions. I like that a lot.
Of course, though. Thank you for answering. I know a lot of folks out there, they appreciate what you do.
Yes.
I think there's still, there's things behind the what's the word, curtain that people still want to understand.
That's very true. So I'm happy to answer any questions. Feel free to message me or whatever. I love it. I love it so much. So here, when we see you again tomorrow here on Northern Life, the countdown continues until the start of the Winter Olympics in Italy. So tomorrow we'll meet one athlete who is set to make history as she represents the U.S. in Olympic hockey. My saliva glands are going like crazy right now.
Hunter has to do the noon show, after this recording, so good luck to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love you all so much.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Find some time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.